Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Outer Worlds. When we last left off, we were making our way through Tartarus and bumped into some friends, and we were just a few steps away from saving Phineas and the solar system. So without further ado, let's jump back in.
Captain,
There she is.
you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. Words cannot express the extent of my disappointment. We had a plan.
We did.
All you had to do was skip the Hope to Tartarus, as I asked.
I could have.
You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
There's nothing I appreciate more. We're liberating Halcyon, and there's not a damn thing you can do to stop us.
Do you imagine you're leading some grand revolutionary army?
By accident.
The iconoclasts and MSI have put aside their differences and attacked the prison together. I never imagined such a thing would be possible.
Because you didn't try.
Here we are.
You didn't fucking try, Conde.
You're nothing but a rabble-rouser. I'm going to put an end to your little rebellion. And then I'm going to have you and your associates arrested.
Halcyon is changing. The board can't control us forever.
The board is the only legitimate power in Halcyon. We are Halcyon.
Oh, honey, no.
I admit I miscalculated the extent of your influence. The board's plan never accounted for you. This is a mistake I intend to correct. I have Dr. Wells in my custody. Once I've secured his cooperation, I can move forward with the program. I can repair the damage you've done. I can set things right.
I wonder if on Terra 2, instead of sending people back to the factory, if we send them to the, like the whatever people, I don't remember their god back then, if they would have also been here fighting. I don't enjoy the thought of killing you. There's been enough violence already.
In that we are in agreement. An end to violence is precisely what I want.
Is it?
An end to chaos. An end to senseless loss of life. The only obstacle standing in my way is you.
You're so blind.
I wish you'd simply cooperated with me. You're the finest marksman in Halcyon.
It's true.
You could have been my gun.
Let's talk about this.
Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parley with me.
Ah, it's so frustrating. We had 3 options, and I mean none of them. On second thought, I'm done talking to you. Let's get this over with.
This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight and rinse your remains down a drain. And don't worry. I will inform Dr. Wells that you died heroically, or something.
I see you're automechanical, and I raise you 1 sniper rifle. Ram. Oh, that's a cute name. Oh, that one's sealed. Sorry. No. My bad. I'll go this way. We're gonna kill the Ram. Boop.
And we're stalking. And we're stalking.
Shh. Try not to be seen.
Great work.
Thanks. Alright, what do we got here?
Damn. You got some nimble fingers, Captain.
That took 5. That took 1. Riot Automechanical is online. UDL is not responsible for the lethal force dispensed by the RAM unit. If the automechanicals in the area need maintenance or updated security protocols, please consult your nearest security engineer. Designate RAM as a hostile intruder. So this is the boss battle we were supposed to fight.
Woo! Yeah, now that was fun.
Nice. I still got the kill, though. That's the best part. Nice. card on the RAM. Nice. I didn't even open all these things. Oh. Let me repair my weapon. I want to kill her with Old Faithful, though. Right? Ah. Easy peasy. Oh, nothing in there. A dog just like peeling out. Where does this go? I don't know. Conde. Knock knock.
Why won't you just one, all right?
Oh, honey, I'm sorry.
Get me out of here!
Give me just a second. I want to look around the room. Nothing I can steal here. Okay. Almost out of time, Phineas. Oh. Order of operations, my bad.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved, and long overdue.
She was at least
You
confused.
You lunatic! You broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man!
I
You
did.
are absolutely out of your mind. And I can't begin to thank you enough.
Are you kidding? The board never stood a chance against me.
Ah, all in a day's work for you, huh?
It's actually the
You've
easiest thing I've
broken the
done.
board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish.
It's true.
You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
That's not good. I don't like the sound of that at all.
Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing.
I thought I fixed that.
2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago, and the board's just been covering this up?
They've been incredibly effective at concealing the truth. Right now, the only people in the colony who know are standing in this room.
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
It's fair enough.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Have we been relying on them? Because I feel like they've been doing a shitty job if we have. Wait, hold on. I need to ask you something.
Yes, certainly. I'll help however I can.
What do you think happened?
I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here.
How do you know all this?
I heard it from Akande herself. She tried to pressure me into joining her side, you see. Tried to make me realize that all hope is lost, and that we are alone.
Interesting.
She was half right. We are alone, and we're going to have to fend for ourselves, because there's no telling what's happened to Earth.
You mentioned a frigate disappearing?
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace.
That's probably for the best.
That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them.
You said there haven't been any new messages from Earth?
Yes, Akande mentioned as much. Earth hasn't sent us a single message in 3 years. No one knows why. Akande had kept the truth to herself, perhaps with good reason. Can you imagine what would have happened if word got out? We'd have utter pandemonium.
I thought we did a job on the Groundbreaker to fix comms, but maybe I'm wrong about that. There's something else I know about the other colonists, Phineas.
I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended, in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours.
Fair enough. What a fucking success I am. I forgive you.
Thank you. Perhaps in time I'll learn to forgive myself.
I doubt it.
My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can.
I don't have any more questions. We've got some work to do.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds. And then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time.
Let's fucking
We're going
go.
to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Phineas, I've just been fucking around. But if somebody has to run this colony, I'm the only competent person left.
You won't hear a word of disagreement from me. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
Quite. Oh, we got
The
it!
OSI teaches
Yeah,
that
the world's
everything
hard.
in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind:
Hell yeah.
survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone,
Hell yeah.
and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause.
Good.
MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks.
Okay, good.
Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy.
Oh, no.
One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever.
Oh, shit. June Lay?
Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. After returning to Edgewater, the deserters negotiated workplace reforms with Reed Thompson, including a single day of rest, which came to be known as a weekend. As the world around him changed, Thompson found himself pining for the old days. He was known to spend his weekends in the cantina, nursing one of the few remaining bottles of Zero G, and repeating to himself, "It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice."
Poor guy.
As for Adelaide McDevitt, she tended to her garden in solitude for another year before passing away.
Good.
Her
Fricker.
body was discovered some months later when Reed Thompson paid her a visit in an effort to make amends.
Aww.
Her remains were buried in a place of honor underneath the floor of the Edgewater Cannery. Reed believed this was what she always wanted.
Oh no.
Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions.
Nice.
The future of the groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jawed.
Heaven forbid.
It was a dark time indeed.
Too bad that
Even
one
the
chick
Gorgon
died already.
asteroid, though a distant enigma to most of Halcyon, felt the aftershocks of your actions. Olivia and Minnie Ambrose worked together to cure the marauders Adrena Time had created.
Nice.
Through their partnership as scientist and administrator, they discovered the harmony that had eluded them as mother and daughter. And through years of patience and effort, they discovered a means to wean Halcyon from the scourge of Adrena Time.
Good.
Their work eventually allowed Wells and his scientists to treat many of Halcyon's marauders. As their addiction waned, the colonists who had lived for so long under the thrall of Adrena Time returned to their communities and loved ones, and joined in the effort to save Halcyon.
God, that makes you feel so bad
In
about all
spite
the
of
ones that you
everything,
killed.
The
That
Gorgon
sucks.
asteroid remained a sobering reminder of the potential for progress and disaster in humanity's most ambitious efforts. The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say,
Fuck
the
yeah.
launch of Spectrum Brown was indefinitely delayed.
Good.
A stockpile of Spectrum Brown remains buried deep beneath the ruins of the old distillery, abandoned to time and attrition.
You go take care of that.
With the dissolution of the board, Ruth Bellamy found herself without the two constants in her life, Byzantine culture and her sister Belinda. In the face of this new reality, she struggled to find a direction for her life.
Aww.
The colony had moved on from Halcyon Helen and would require new heroes in the years to come. And so Ruth Bellamy decided it was time to exit stage left. She quietly disappeared from public view.
Good for her.
The dissolution of the board did not mean the dissolution of the ambitions of Cedric Kincannon, the
Nice.
charismatic leader of Sublight Underground. Cedric offered Slug's transportation services to the newly thawed colonists and set to work ferrying resources and food wherever they were most needed.
Aw.
For better or worse, slug headgear became fashionable in the following years.
Nice. I
As
like
the
Cedric.
board began to disintegrate, Spencer Woolrich found himself at a crossroads. Cling to what little stardom remained to him, or help usher Halcyon into its new future.
Is that a picture of me with
To the
Spencer?
surprise of many,
Jesus.
perhaps himself most of all, Spencer chose the latter option. Having learned a variety of different skills in the many different roles played throughout his lengthy career, Spencer founded a radio serial dedicated to staying alive despite the odds. His subjects included how to survive violent encounters with only grazing wounds,
Duck.
dispense pithy one-liners for tense scenarios,
I mean, is it...
and, of course, how to look good doing both. After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange, Bertie struck out on his own to try his hand at raising woolly cows. Many of his former Rangers teammates soon followed, accompanied by the woolly cow the team had originally plied with alcohol.
Aw.
The dairy farm thrived under Bertie's leadership and care.
Aw.
The dairy rangers privately believed that the woolly cows softened Bertie's temper considerably, although the only one brave enough to say this to his face was promptly headbutted.
Nice.
Due to the board's dissolution, many of the Prophet's old customers no longer found quite the same value in productivity seminars that they once had. With her business drying up, the Prophet chose to take her followers down a new path. Months later, salvagers on Eridanos found clues leading them to a seemingly abandoned bunker out in the wilderness. Inside, they discovered horribly mangled corpses, sacrificed to a blood-scrawled portrait of a sprat-headed deity.
I should have got rid of her.
Was not among the bodies.
Fuck, dude. Serial killer alert.
Your influence further cemented Ellie's perspective. She understood she could never truly rely on others, so she set about making sure she wouldn't have to.
Aw.
With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own.
Nice.
She enjoyed a long and infamous career running missions across the system. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could.
Aw.
He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless.
Good, dude.
Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace.
That's a good
Once
ending.
the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker.
Aww.
And Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name.
Rightfully so.
And in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart.
I love
Nyoka
that.
returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She
Nyoka.
formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation.
Freaking
The
Nyoka.
SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales.
Oh.
Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon?
I did not.
Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it.
Nice.
As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope.
Damn.
Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived.
Wow.
Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation.
Nice.
Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr.
Saved him,
Wells
guys. We
laid the
saved him.
groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony.
Yeah.
You administered the colony in your own image.
It's not
With
saying
the old
much.
power of the board destroyed, a new government of Halcyon rose with you at its center. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years that were to follow, and helped ensure the survival of the colony until the end of your days. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Oh, we did it, guys. It's the end. Man, this is a good game. You know, I say this a lot. I was discussing this at work today too. That like the thing that Bethesda does really well is lore, right? But the thing that they really fail at is stories. They cannot for the life of them make like a decent storyline. It's always like two factions are fighting and you got to pick a side. That's the whole storyline in like every Bethesda game. I can't say that. I haven't played them all, but from the ones I've played. But Obsidian, man, they make a good story. Like I mean, at the root of this, right, there were two sides on each planet and you had to pick the side. But I did not expect this starvation thing, like, did not see that coming. I'm really glad that we were able to, I think this is the good ending, what I would assume is the good ending. But I'm glad we were able to basically, like, save everybody. Like, it just makes sense that you would bring more scientists in if you can. But I can definitely see how, like, some people could actually get into, like, oh, well, I mean, it's the board, and they're just trying to save people by not bringing more people into a starving colony. But yeah, it was good. I mean, I definitely had some complaints about it, obviously, but I'm really excited for the next game, which I don't know when it comes out, so we'll definitely have some games to play in between. Let me see if there's a release date. I don't think there is yet. Oh, okay. Oh, Outer Worlds 2. Okay, so it's only been in development for a few years, so it'll probably be a while. But definitely when the next game comes out, I'm definitely going to be playing it because this is good. I do hope they change a few things, obviously, but I don't know, this is basically just Fallout in space, which I'm not mad about. I like the idea of the ship. I wish there was more customization of your ship. I do like that you can pick up things to add to it. That's pretty cool. I just love this game. It's probably one of the first games that I've played in a long time that it had a dystopian, like, after Earth feel to it that felt really realistic, right? Like, it feels like this could happen. Maybe not the space thing, maybe not traveling through space or the cryoing stuff, because we haven't quite gotten to that technology. But definitely, like, the corporations taking over and, you know, deciding, like, your whole life. Like, that kind of dystopian stuff feels so much more possible and real within, like, maybe not within our lifetimes, but within a couple generations. And that's working. That's why these games are so important, to be like, hey, you gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful about, like, letting them that's why I'm so like uptight about censorship, right? Like I will not. I don't care if like I wouldn't get any ads on a video, or if I wouldn't get any promotion on social media if because of the way I speak or what I say. Like I don't care. Like I don't want corporations paying money to decide what is okay for me to say, because that's such a slippery slope, right? Like it's been happening with books for like ever, right? Like if you put song lyrics in your book, you got to pay tens of thousands of dollars to corporations, and that's just insane. Or like they decide that this book is banned because it says stuff bad about the government. Like who cares, right? It's freedom of speech should be inherent. I mean, I'm sure it's not in other countries, and I can't imagine what it would be like without it, but like it's just that small thing, giving up that small freedom could lead to so many different things. I don't know how I turned this whole thing into censorship. I don't even know where it's going with this, but I'm just saying, like, this concept feels like something that could definitely become a reality if it's not watched or taken care of. And it's cool to see it put into a concept that gets it in front of more people's eyes too. I'm not saying, oh wow, they put IT in here. Wow, that's pretty nice. Automation engineer? Sorry, I'm not used to people recognizing IT. Uh, but yeah, this is a good game. I can't wait for the next one. It's gonna be good. It'll probably be, I don't know. I don't know how fast Obsidian makes games. What did they make before this? PoE and 2? I don't know when anything comes out. I think we'll play some short games after this. I don't know what next long game I'll get into, but I think I will play a few things in between. Maybe we'll play Pokemon. Probably not though. This is good. I feel like I'm talking like this whole time too. It is interesting. I wonder if they're gonna. So in the next game, I'm wondering how they're gonna play that out. I assume they're gonna play it out in a colony. So after the main character in this has died off and the colony has stabilized, if they're going to play along the ship that went missing from Earth, or if they're gonna play from an Earth perspective, maybe a ship that comes from Earth. That would be an interesting concept. I don't. I mean, I guess I feel like corruption in this solar system would just be a little too on the nose, because like you wouldn't have, I mean, you would have corruption, obviously. There's corruption everywhere always. But like you wouldn't have a rebellion so soon after. The only thing I think of is maybe like your family was from Byzantium and so they harbor a hate for the new law. But I feel like there's such a majority outside of Byzantium, especially with like the New Hope citizens, that I don't know. I think the only way they could play this is something from Earth, since they threw that right in at the end. It's almost like they wanted to make more game but ran out of time. Like this wasn't supposed to be the end of the game, but like they didn't have time to make more or whatever. I also heard the speed run for this game is like super short, like 11 minutes or something like that. I actually thought about looking into that for the achievements, like speed running it through whatever the speed run tactic is on Supernova, so you can get the achievement. I don't know what we have left. I know we have a lot of bullshit achievements because RPGs always have the like do this 8,000 times achievements, but I'm actually surprised we didn't get the health insurance achievement, which is like use the inhaler 300 times. That one's surprising, which I guess a lot of the time I just didn't get hit in the end. I feel like maybe it's just because I let myself die. Maybe that's a problem. So the achievements that we just got are complete Outer Worlds on any difficulty and completed on hard, because we were playing on hard difficulty the whole time. I also think the level cap was a little low too, personally. I hope they raise that up a little bit because we played half this game at capped level. And I don't know, I guess they did raise it whenever they added DLC. They raised the level cap by 2, I want to say, per DLC. Weird number though, because it stopped at 36, which is a little odd. Um, so it looks like the rest of these achievements are. There's the supernova difficulty one, which I don't. I thought about doing like an achievement stream, like get the rest of the achievements, all like on stream, just get them all, because a lot of them are like kill 30 automex with shock damage, kill 50 enemies with companion abilities. Like they're really just tedious ones. There's 4 hidden achievements. I don't know what they are though. I guess I can look them up real quick. Hidden achievements, Outer Worlds. Let's see what we got. I think one of them is a hidden achievement. So there's only 3 because there's one from Gorgon that we still didn't get. We didn't get one of the Gorgon one endings because you have to do it before you pick up the journal, which I wasn't aware of. We got all of the Eridanos ones. Oh, there's a secret ending for skipping the hope. If you have a low intelligence character, you can skip the hope into the sun, which we could probably do really quick because I can respec in the ship and skip the hope. And then, let's see, what else do we have? Oh, bring Robo Destruction to Edgewater, side with Ludwig. That's funny. I don't think we did that one, right? Let me check really quick. Oh, no, we did. Okay. Oh, wait. No. Ludwig was right. Yeah, I don't think we did that one. So that's it, right? We have the Gorgon one. Ludwig was right. Skip the hope into the sun. And then the other one is uh wait. Maybe all of these aren't secret. It says secret by like everything, but like I think some of them we just didn't get because we didn't side with people, right? There's also stuff for like reputation, which would be really annoying to do. Uh, let's see. Skip the hope, which we did. Land of Tartarus, land of Byzantium. Get your ship, land in Emerald Vale, recruit all companions. Okay, those aren't secret. So I think the other one we didn't get is Monarch Abides. Or, yeah, Peace in Our Time we did get. Yeah, Monarch Abides, which is win the Battle of Stellar Bay. Which is like forcing war between them instead of peace. That's a little meh. Okay. I might write those down just for good measure. Be good to have to good to know. I don't know. I don't know if I'll do a stream. Probably not, right? Like, It would definitely be, if I do a stream, it'll be after I get back from vacation. Because I have a lot. It's kind of bad timing, honestly, that this game is ending and I have a vacation coming up because it's like it would be really convenient to just record a bunch of these and have them ready. But you know, whatever. Shit happens. Mark abides. What was the other one? Oh, the Gorgon one. That's right. Okay, well, these credits are much longer than I thought they would be. So I'll probably end up splitting. I've probably already split this into 2 episodes, but I don't know if there's much more I have to say about that. I feel like I made all the best decisions. Like I said earlier, I think if we would have not sided with the board institution at Edgewater, we probably would have had support from Adelaide's people, but like fuck Adelaide, I didn't like her. I really honestly played this. There's some things which I probably subconsciously played more towards the good ending, but a lot of this I feel like I played towards what I would do. Like making, like I talked about it a little bit whenever MSI and Iconoclast came up. I really thought the negotiation between the two was the smartest choice because having a board ally was the smartest choice. I mean, it didn't end up being like a political thing. It was just a little bit of a let down, like to hype up so much politics and to see like none of it. It's just a bunch of crazy people like ignoring all the problems. It's like, oh, could have been interesting. Could have been an interesting political like crazy situation. Like we could have gotten like the news people on our side or whatever. All right, that's where this Let's Play ends. So thank you so much for watching. If you watched all of it, thank you for keeping up with it. Sucks that we didn't get to 100 episodes, but that's where we're at. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next game.